Good morning and hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the technical charts analysis section. Let us have a look and see what happened to the US dollar index. So the US dollar index will show us whether the US dollar was strengthening or weakening. So for yesterday, we can see that the US dollar strengthened in the Asian trading session as early as 6 plus 5. This is 11 a.m. Okay, local Singapore and Malaysia time, and towards 1200 plus 5 is 17. This will be 5 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The US dollar was actually just consolidating, okay, mostly consolidating, and it was again finding support at these levels 97.28, and was mostly in consolidation phase. Although it looks like individually the Asian trading session, the US dollar was bullish slightly, and it came back down, and in the UK trading session it was also bullish. However, towards the US trading session, this is the one 1500. If you're in Singapore or Malaysia, you will need to add 5 hours to this, so it will become 2000 hours, which is 8 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. We can see that the US dollar comes down again to test this support and breaking through the support convincingly. Okay, so so yesterday's movement of the US dollar and the sentiment was mostly bearish. So as we can see, the US dollar being bearish for the US trading session, we should see the UK pound being bullish. Okay, so moving to the UK pound, not only was the UK pound initially moving down in the Asian trading session, this is partly due to the fact that the US dollar was strong in the Asian trading session. So we can see again the UK pound being marginally weak. Okay, so the UK pound moved down from a high of 1.2395 over here on the right at about 1000 plus 5 is 6 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, and it comes down to a low of 1.2359. Okay, so it comes down about 36 pips and finds support, and towards this a little bit early, 8 plus 5 is 1300, which will be 1 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, and it starts to move up from 1.2359. The first push or the first cycle was going up to 1.2421, moving up about 62 pips, and then the second cycle was over here at about 1500, which is plus 5 2000 hours, which is 8 p.m. The UK pound moves up again from 1.2378 to a high of 1.2486. Okay, so the US trading cycle, it pushed up about 110 pips, and during the UK trading cycle it pushed up about 59 pips. Okay, and the Asian trading cycle, it pushed down about 36 pips. So altogether, from about 1 p.m. local Singapore time until the evening session, it moved out about 132 pips. Again, yesterday's bullish move is actually a follow through from today's Thursday, from Tuesday's bullish move. Okay, so again support, and then it starts to bounce up. Typical reversal after finding support, it goes back up. Okay, so when we look at the euro dollar, it's pretty much the same story. For yesterday, the euro dollar was initially quiet, okay, and then towards 600 hours, 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay, the euro dollar moves down, and only towards the evening session is the first candle at 1500 again, which is plus 520, which is 8 p.m. The euro dollar moves up from 1.1203 all the way to a high of 1.1274. Okay, so during the US trading session, the euro dollar moved up a total of about 72 pips. Okay, by the way, this bridge over here, if you are familiar with chart patterns and also market behavior, you would probably understand that this will not break through, and it will actually come back up, and once it closes above this support, there is a high chance it will keep on moving up. Okay, so this is market psychology and market behavior, and as of this morning, we can see that this back on the US dollar. The US dollar index is marginally weaker, and we can see number one, the UK pound being marginally strong this morning, and also the euro dollar also showing us that it is still mildly bullish. Okay, but currently it is still very quiet, and it's mostly just consolidating at this range. So again, we will need to wait for um, roughly about 2 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. to decide where the market will move. Okay, so moving, so that will be for the US dollar, for the UK pound, and for the euro dollar. Let us move on to gold prices. So gold prices for yesterday was still moving up. Again, it's a follow through of the bullish trend achieved on Tuesday. So on Tuesday itself, the gold prices move up from 1,765 all the way to a high of 1,786, and then it was consolidating for a while and just moving up ever so slowly. Okay, so it touched a high of about over here, touched a high of 1,700 and about 1,789. This is the candle, and it was at about 10 plus 5. This is at 1500 hours, which is 3 p.m. Goes up, and it was hanging around there for 1 2 3 4 hours, and towards the first break was here. 1300 plus 5 is 18, which is 6 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Gold prices came down, broke through, and this was the initial move, and then later on at about 1500 again. Again, this is at 8 p.m. Gold prices started to move down more aggressively. Okay, started to move down more aggressively from a high of 1,783 all the way to the low of 1,759. Okay, so it came down about almost 25 US dollars. So currently it did had a good retracement after coming down and touching this support. Okay, this was the support drawn previously over here. Okay, and managed to rebound, retrace back, and went into consolidation phase from 1,759, retrace back to 1,772. Okay, currently gold prices are pretty quiet, so we gotta wait until the afternoon or towards the evening as the non-farm payrolls data will be announced. Okay, quick look at silver. Silver will show pretty much the same general movement of gold. So gold was mostly going down yesterday, and so we see the same pattern for silver. After touching a high of about $18.43, it comes down at $18.38 and goes to a low of $17.81. Okay, so currently it's also resting on this line which we drew earlier. Okay, so yeah, and of course, last but not least, let us have a quick look at the oil prices. So oil prices yesterday was pretty subdued. Basically, it was just trading in a range, going up at about 9 plus 5, 14, which is 2 p.m., going up from 39.59 cents all the way to a high of $40.57. This was about 98-cent movement, and then after it came back down strongly from a high of $40.54 all the way to a low of $39.06. Okay, yesterday we had data on oil, which was the crude oil inventory data, and look at that, the inventories came in at negative 7.2 million. Okay, markets was expecting crude oil inventories to contract by negative 900,000 barrels. However, yesterday's data showed that it contracted, the inventories shrank by 7.2 million barrels. Okay, so again, based on this news and based on this data or this result, it shows that supplies are much less, or inventories are much lesser than expected. Based on this result and this data, the theory is oil prices should be going up. Okay, however, you don't see oil prices going up. In fact, oil prices came down first initially about $1.36, and then as the data was announced, it just went up a little bit. Okay, data was announced at about 10:30 p.m., which was about here. Okay, it did come back up, but just marginally by about 65 cents, and then ever since then has gone quiet. Currently, it looks like it's trying to move up, but it is still within the range. Okay, so again, this is how news and data moves prices. It's just that do not blindly trade according to the theory of the news. Okay. So let us have a look and see. So basically, that basically wraps up the analysis for the last 24 hours. And for the next 24 hours, generally the US dollar is still bearish. Okay, ever since it's tested the consolidation phase on the 4-hour candles on the 4-hour charts. Okay, and currently it looks like it's could be going down further, um, pending to this afternoon's and also tonight's economic data. Okay, so back to the economic data, just a quick one. Main events to look out for will be at 8:30 p.m. But keep an eye out as early as 7 p.m. onwards or 8 p.m. You can actually start to see a clear opportunity already. You do not have to wait until the announcement at 8:30 p.m. Okay, so yeah, so that wraps up today's technical analysis. So I think the last 2 days or so, or the last 3 days, I believe if you understood how I approach the markets, some of you may have had a decent gain, especially on the UK pound, or to a certain extent, maybe even on the gold prices. Okay, so hope you guys have a better understanding and clarity. If you have any questions, please put your questions below on the Facebook comments. And have a good trading day ahead. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you and good day.